You can instant message people on Facebook. You can do pretty much anything you want to with this. As long as you have Wi-Fi, you are good to go. And all of these services that I have mentioned are free. You can even Skype people. I know that's free because I've done that already with a friend on a computer. So, right now, you can buy the white iPod Touch or the black iPod Touch. The lowest starting at $200, which is the 8GB, but I would recommend the 32GB because the last iPod Touch I had the second generation 8GB iPod Touch, and I filled that up really fast with music and games and apps and all of that stuff. With all of my stuff on this iPod, I still have a good 5GB left with all of this, which is really, really good. Also, one more good thing about the iOS 5 update is that now you can sync wirelessly with your computer. As long as the iPod is plugged in to a wall source or the computer itself, it will sync via Wi-Fi, which I think is really cool because, I mean, when I first got it, it took 6 hours, I think, to sync all of my music from my computer to my iPod. But it did this all wirelessly, and I thought that was really amazing. And another cool feature about iOS 5 is that when you first start it up, you do not have to connect to iTunes. Not like when iOS 4, you always have to connect to iTunes because it was a brand new iPod. But if that's the case, you may never have to connect to iTunes because as long as you have Wi-Fi and the iOS 5, you can sync anything from your computer via Wi-Fi. And that is using the iCloud service, which I'm not 100% sure how to use yet, but I will let you know if you have any questions about that as soon as possible. But yeah, I think that's a really cool feature. And you can also back up your music and all your games to iCloud, but I haven't used it yet because they only give you like 5GB free, and all of my junk on this iPod consists about 27GB, I think. So, of course, not all of that would be bagged up to iCloud itself, but it's still a really, really good gesture. In comparison, over here is the brand new 32GB 4th generation iPod Touch running iOS 5, and then over here is my 8GB 2nd generation iPod Touch running iOS 4. As you see, there's a difference just within the design. You can see that the chrome around this one is a lot thicker and a lot wider than it is around this one. You can barely see it front-facing wise. If I flip over to the back, the differences are, on this one, there's a camera on the back, of course, and then this one has like a flatter design, whereas this one has a more curvy design, and since it's more scratched up and older, you can't really see like all the shine and luster, but at the top they had this little Wi-Fi patch. This Wi-Fi patch has now been removed. On the top, both the on and off switch are in different locations. This one is on the left, and then this one is over here to the right. On the sides, the volume rockers are pretty much in the same location, except for on the new one, they have 2 separate buttons, and then on the old one, it was just 1 button. And then they were the same, nothing on the right side of either iPod. All in all, though, I still say that this one is a lot better improved over this one, because this one did not have as many cool features. I mean, you could still like instant message people on Facebook, but with the new iOS 5 update, it's so much better. And also, one more thing, I found it amazing to be that the iPod Touch, I don't know if you can really tell, but the thickness of the new one is a lot thinner than the thickness of the older one. And also, the older one is a lot more heavier than the new one, which is weird to me because the old one is only an 8GB, but the new one is a 32, which is a lot more that it can hold. And also, One more thing that I forgot to mention is the new iPod Touch is running the A4 chip. I'm not too technically fancy, but I think that means that it has higher RAM and a higher processor, but I'm not sure. Unfortunately, that is not the newest. That is not the newest Apple chip, because the newest one that they came out with, which was the A5 chip, which is now running in the iPad 2 and the iPhone 4S. All in all, this iPod Touch is really good. It's almost like a smartphone. It's really similar to the iPhone in many ways because it can message over Wi-Fi, it can FaceTime over Wi-Fi, and I know for an iPhone that you need Wi-Fi and cell service in order to FaceTime anyway. So this iPod Touch was $299 because it's the 32 gigabyte. But if you want the cheaper one, the 8 gigabyte one is $199. And if you want more than 32 gigabytes, the 64 gigabyte one is $399. This iPad is great, and I would suggest this to anyone who wants an iPad or anything else. But I would suggest the iPod Touch over any of Apple's other iPods because this one basically stands out. That's just me though. But this has been my review. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe.